Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Mega Man 3 commentary. Today we're going to be starting with Shadow Man, a true ninja. And for some reason the music cut off there. And we have a sewer, because all ninjas live in the sewer. Too bad there's not a Teenage Mutant Ninja variety. Yeah, I'll probably do a Turtles in Time commentary at some point. So yeah, not much to say. Ah, crap, he's back. Again, same pattern. Yeah, Breakman doesn't know the first thing about tacticians, or tactics. Tactician. Get a tactician. So anyway, I'm going to be using a few weapons here. First off being the Needle Cannon, which I mentioned earlier is a rapid-fire Mega Buster. Alternatively, you can use the Search Snake here, but of course I don't have the Search Snake with me right now. We have these walking grenades and these projectors, which remind me of the final boss of Mega Man 2. And I have to say, I do like this little background, as basic as it is. It's black with, like, white spots. I kind of like it. It's basic, but it looks cool, too. Of course, we have these little annoyances. Yeah, I don't like these enemies, mostly because you can only hit them when they're jumping, and, I still hate them. For this part, Magnet Missile. Because of these things. I don't recommend going too fast here. You'll hit one and you'll fall into what appears to be lava. What a strange, I have no word. I don't know what to say other than, how strange. The TMNT games would be a lot more dangerous in their sewer stages. Like, if the Manhattan Project had, lava, it'd be threatening as hell. But anyway, Shadow Man. His weapon of choice is the Shadow Blade, and this is what I would like to call a reaction battle. This is a battle to where you do not try to figure out what your opponent is going to do. In fact, I do it a few times in this part. Shadow Man usually likes to alternate between sliding and throwing the Shadow Blades. If you try to guess which one he's gonna do, like there, you're gonna mess up a lot. Again, this fight is a reaction battle, so you gotta be careful. I think he's one of the only few bosses to actually slide. The only other Mega Man, regular boss I know that can slide is Saturn from Mega Man 5 on the Game Boy. Or World 5, as the Japanese versions are called. But anyway, that was Shadow Man, and we get one of my favorite weapons in the game, the Shadow Blade. Remember how unbalanced the weapon system was with Mega Man 2 thanks to the horrendous Metal Blade? Well, the Shadow Blade is a more balanced version, and it can't aim down in any way. And we also got the Rush Marine, which I'll barely talk about. But anyway, it's time for one of my favorite robot masters in the game, Snake Man. And he has my favorite stage in the game too. How strange. This is one of the stages where I like to use a lot of the weapons I got. I know I'm missing 3 of the weapons. I did still Ringman stage in Mega Man 4 to where I used every weapon I got. But still, I missed, but it's still fun to use. Anyway, Shadow Blade. Look at those snakes! Harrison Ford is shitting himself at this point. I know his character's name is Indiana Jones, but I don't care. I'm calling him Harrison Ford, damn it. Every time I listen to Snake Man Sleep, I have 2 lyric versions playing in my head. The first one being Walk Away from Light, which is the Mega's version of the song, and Bruno Floss's quick lyric thing. I always hear, the lyrics. I'm not gonna sing them, but the one I hear the most is, I won't defeat him and I won't get laid. Kind of a weird weird lyrics for Snake Man, but then again, Bruno Floss has always been weird with lyrics. Even though I think him saying Mega Man 7 sucks is bullshit, but that's besides the point. Anyway, these item blocks, which are just like mystery blocks in any Mario platformer, well, most of them, have hidden stuff. I have gotten an E-Tank and an extra life from there a few times, but usually it's just nothing I want, and it's one of the few times they ever appear. At least in this game. And this is the only classic game they appear in. Which is weird. Because you never seen them again. Also, the enemies are weird. Like this guy. What's he doing? And now we get to the weirder part of the stage. Yep, we're going sky high for some reason. I mean, it was good about its theme, and now it's just saying, you know, let's abandon that shit. A strange thing about this part of the stage is that the clouds. I can barely talk. The clouds have this strange, like, well, not hit detection, it's more like collision detection with them. To where, if you're not jumping, you'll probably jut forward a little bit, and if you're near the edge, you're more than likely gonna fall off the cloud. Believe me, I've been there before and it sucks. Also, for some reason, these bullet bills have cloud armor. I don't know why. I don't know why Snake Man asked Bowser to borrow some of his minions, but okay. But anyway, it's time for Snake Man. His weapon of choice is the Surf Snake. I could use the Needle Cannon because it's his weakness, but screw that. Now, this is a bit of an odd hit to get by. Like that. I reeled back a bit too much. If I moved a bit more forward, I would have dodged it, but that's the toughest part of the fight over with. Snake Man is very easy. He'll occasionally jump, shoot two Surf Snakes, which you can easily avoid, and most of the fight is just him running away from you. Ah, don't hit me, Mega Man! Stop shooting me with them lemons! Yeah, there's not much to say about this fight other than Snake Man. Come on, it's not that difficult. Wow. Pathetic. Even Indiana Jones would be like, bro, that is pathetic. But anyway, we get a ground weapon. The Surf Snake. It's pretty much like the Bubble Lead, only a lot more rapid. Which helps, because the Bubble Lead wasn't that bad in my opinion. But anyway, next up is another favorite of mine, Sparkman. Some interesting trivia about Sparkman. His theme was actually the first Mega Man 3 song the Megas ever did. At least I think. There's a Youth Spark the War History Repeating Blue version, and a single version. It's no shocker that the final version sounds better than the original. Anyway, this stage's theme is short but catchy as hell. I absolutely love this song, and the stage is pretty awesome too. This stage is pretty much like Eggman's power plant, only not nearly as vertical. The stage isn't that difficult either, but there are some tight spots, like this bit coming up here. You have to move fast on these blocks here, or you're gonna get jut into the spikes. I just barely made that. Kidding. This part requires some patience. That is, unless you don't mind taking damage and risking falling into the abyss below. How do people get around these places? Then again, it's not really important. They're just platforming challenges Mega Man has to get through. That's good enough for me. Snakes! And this is something I like doing. Whee! No! No! Oh, yeah! And for some reason, we have trash. This was one of the more dickish parts about Mega Man World 3 for the Game Boy. I swear, that part was bullshit. And now we get to the most ungraceful part of this LP, in my opinion. I'm gonna take some liberties. Ow! Why did I do that? I don't know. I don't know why I did that. It's one of my stupid moments. In fact, there's another stupid moment coming up. I actually reeled back a bit to reel this thing in. Then I go back here, because I think a bullet was going to come out earlier. Instead, it comes out here. Jeez. Even my reduns are bad. But anyway, it's time for Sparkman. His weapon of choice is the Spark Shock. I could use a Shadow Blade, which is his weakness, but hey, I'm not a pussy. Just like Snake Man, here's a real dickish move. If Sparkman attacks you right there, you can't avoid that, which I found to be absolutely retarded. And he does it every time I fight him. Sparkman's not hard, but he is a more difficult version of Snake Man, mostly because his room is a lot more, not a lot more, his room is a bit more complex, and Sparkman himself has more damaging attacks. But other than that, Sparkman is not that difficult. Then again, I'm an expert at this game, and even I do terrible, things sometimes. But anyway, now it's time to get the worst weapon in the game. Yeah, this weapon is damn near worthless because of a quirk this game has. We got the Spark Shock, a weapon that paralyzes enemies, which you'd think would be awesome, like the Ice Slasher in the original Mega Man. But the problem being, Mega Man 3 has this odd quirk to where the game would not pause if there's a weapon on screen. And Gemini Man here has a weapon that has that problem. In fact, he's the last Robot Master we're after. As I was going on about the quirk Mega Man 3 has, if there's a weapon on screen, like say I have like a Search Snake on screen, I can't pause the game until that Search Snake goes away. It's not a big problem that ruins the game in any way, but if you're experimenting, it can be a bit annoying. And here I tried experimenting a lot with the Shadow Blade, but no good came out of it. I don't know why I did that, but I just felt like leaving it in. Also, Gemini Man's theme is awesome, and his Mega's version is just amazing. I actually wrote a Friendship is Magic version of Gemini Man's theme, well, Gemini from the History Repeating Red album, and I called it Pinkie Pie, which I would go more in detail about, but let's face it, this is about Mega Man. We'll talk about ponies later. I have no shame in it, damn it. I could go down there, but we'll miss this cutscene with Breakman. There is an extended version of his theme if you pause the game, but I never did that for some reason. Also, I have actually glitched down there before. What happens is, once the whistle theme is over, for whatever reason, the game's music would not play. So there would just be an empty void of silence. And then some enemies would be glitched, and I'm gonna point them out when we get to them. And I do like to use the needle cannon here for shooting down these amoebas. You can get a lot of 1-ups and stuff here if they drop it. Also, this stage is weird. I don't even know what it's supposed to be. I know Gemini Man is based off the Zodiac, but still, it's weird. In fact, this was the first stage in the game I ever played. The first time I ever played Mega Man 3, I went to Gemini Man first for some reason. Anyway, these penguin enemies here, they're the enemies that would actually get glitched if you did the little trick that I'm gonna do in an extra video. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing an extra video of this game. And I do make mistakes in this run, and I will correct them in my extras video. But anyway, if you do that little glitch, those enemies will actually become garbled up snake graphics, which is interesting. But anyway, it's time for the most difficult part of the stage, and a pretty fun section. Screw the Rush Marine, I'm a man, I can do this on my own. Screw the 1-up, I don't need it. But anyway, in this section, you're going to be dodging a lot of fish with torpedoes and dragonflies. And it's necessary to get the E-tanks. Sorry if my commentary is a bit delayed here, but my video, for whatever reason, is not particularly working, so if I'm meaning to comment on something, my video, for whatever reason, is just completely out of whack, and it's fast-forwarding, which you won't see in the actual commentary run on YouTube, but when I recorded this, for whatever reason, the video just went completely whack. Anyway, time for a stupid mistake of mine. Forgetting to switch off the Shadow Blade, and taking an unnecessary hit because of it. Yeah, I recorded this all in one go at like, I think 11:30 at night, and I was really tired. And since I had a lot of free time and I was wide awake, I said, hey, let's do Mega Man 3. But anyway, it's time for Gemini Man. His weapon of choice is the Gemini Laser. This fight is unique because it has two phases to it. For the first phase, I recommend jumping over the clones twice. If you jump over once, the other Gemini Man will shoot at you. So what I recommend doing is every second jump attack, as the clone will not attack you. And I'm moving here because it makes the fight more fun. You can just stand still and just jump over it and stuff. It's not that difficult. See? Anyway, once Gemini Man reaches half health, the clone will go away, and it's just Gemini Man, who's not very fast, jumps every time you shoot, but he does a good amount of contact damage, and he'll fire his signature Gemini Laser, which bounces off walls. I think the laser actually does less damage than contact damage. I think. Don't quote me on that. But that's all the Robot Master's gone. And we get the Gemini Laser. No, not the awesome Mega Man player, but the weapon. It's a strong, potent laser that bounces off walls, and because of Mega Man 3's pause quirk, it would get you into more trouble than necessary. But that's the end of the game, I guess. All the Robot Masters are down. I guess it's time to... Wait, what's going on? What? What is this? Find out more on Part 3.